CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
Good evening. More portables and more enrollment lotteries are coming to Edmonton public schools as the board struggles to accommodate the city's rapid population growth. These short-term measures were discussed at a school board meeting today. The board feels it needs to do something while it waits for new schools to be built. In the long term, it's working on a 10-year plan with growth targets for each of the city's school districts. Parents say more action is needed now.
He said a lot of the times their first couple of weeks of school is not really learning anything. They're really just literally trying to find enough desks for the children to sit in.
The school board says it wants to create as much stability for families as it can. It says it won't turn away kids, but cautions the solution might not always be the most convenient one. It wants to protect classes like fine arts and music relative to the demand for general programs. Older, less busy schools will get deferred maintenance as they continue to be used to help demand in higher density areas. The board chair says he understands parents' concerns, promising quality of education will not suffer as the public board pushes for more funding from the province and awaits the opening of new schools.
It's tough. I understand that. I can totally appreciate that. But at the same time, having a new school open in a neighborhood, that's really exciting.
The division says with the way Edmonton's population is growing, it expects high schools will be at full capacity for the next few years. Edmonton City Council has agreed to lobby the province to change how corporations can use restrictive covenants to prevent grocery store competition. As CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports, there appears to be a new appetite for change, even among the big grocery chains.
Griesbaugh Village features hundreds of recently built apartments wrapped around a complex with a range of shops and services. But the grocery store people were expecting as an anchor tenant was never built.
You know, you'd go to the sales center for the village at Griesbaugh. They would talk about this grocery store. You could walk to the grocery store.
When Sobeys acquired Safeway, it sold off the land. The site is now an apartment building. Even so, a restrictive covenant preventing grocery competitors remains on the land title.
When Sobeys didn't build, the restricted covenant stayed. That meant, nobody could build these little stores. You couldn't build a butcher. You couldn't build a bakery.
I think this is very much a bit of a red tape thing that actually hurts affordability. It can hurt people's ability to have choice.
Mayor Andrew Knack now has direction from council to push the provincial government to end the restrictive covenant practice, like Manitoba is doing.
We're going to end that practice here in Manitoba to save you money.
Alberta's red tape reduction minister was confused by Edmonton's plan to lobby him. Dale Nally says City Council is aware that we have been monitoring what's been happening in Manitoba since they removed restrictive covenants to see how it could work in Alberta. Councillor Michael Jan says the minister's comments indicate a broader shift in opinion on the issue, adding even the grocers he's spoken with are on board.
They all kind of know that it doesn't hold up to sunlight. They all kind of know that this practice looks very anti-competitive and is very anti-competitive. They also know that they don't want to be out here defending this right now.
If Alberta scraps the covenants, it will likely take years before grocery stores appear in more areas. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
An Alberta landowner is frustrated with what he calls the province's plans to dump unpaid oil and gas debts onto Alberta taxpayers. He says the province is focused on helping municipalities and forgetting about people like him. As CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti reports, he says the industry should be held accountable.
This orphaned well is on Dwight Popowich's land in Two Hills, an hour and a half east of Edmonton. For years, the companies that owned and operated it didn't pay its property taxes.
How is that fair to landowners, to the very people that make rural Alberta work?
To recoup his lost income, Popowich applied for compensation through the Land and Property Rights Tribunal. While he says he's getting paid back, he wants you to know it's your tax dollars going in his pocket, not the companies that owe him.
It shouldn't be landowners or taxpayers having to pay anything for any of this problem that's been created.
Instead, he wants better industry regulation. Yesterday, the Property Tax Accountability Strategy Working Group released recommendations aimed at ensuring oil and gas companies pay their fair share of property taxes to municipalities.
When you can step in earlier, you can then give the producing wells to a better operator, and then they'll be able to stay in compliance with all of their outstanding obligations.
This report that's just come out is another one of those times where they're ignoring us.
The report doesn't include recommendations for individual landowners waiting to get paid.
All they have to do is apply to the Land and Property Rights Tribunal under the Surface Rights Act, and they'll be paid. So I can't imagine why they would be worried about that.
Popowich says that's not a viable solution. He says oil and gas companies are given too many breaks.
It took 8 years for me to get that well on my land declared an orphan. Guess who paid me during that 8 years? You guys did, the taxpayer.
He says while that amounted to about $31,000, it's just a drop when you consider the hundreds of other orphan wells with bills left unpaid. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
Edmonton Police Chief Warren Dreichel is defending his decision to visit Israel to meet with policing and community leaders. Chief Dreichel traveled to Israel in February to gain insight into policing in a different country. In response, more than 24 Muslim organizations in Edmonton called for the chief to step down. Edmonton's Jewish Federation supports the trip. Today, the chief released a statement saying in part, quote, "As police, we focus on behavior, not beliefs. Where I have felt challenged this week is in the implication that any community group should have the right to direct where we can learn. I stand by my decision to take the trip to Israel and continue to view it as valuable among multiple learning experiences I will have in this role," end quote. You can read more of the chief's full response on our website, ctvnewsedmonton.ca. The mayor of Quebec City is among a delegation visiting Edmonton this week to share ideas and experiences about civic projects. It includes what Edmonton has learned about building the LRT over the years as Quebec City works to build a system of its own. CTV's Amanda Anderson reports.
Edmonton's LRT Churchill station was busy this morning as a group from Quebec City prepared to board.
To see what you built since 1978. We're in 2026 and we're starting.
Quebec City is in the early stages of its Tram-Cité project, a new 19-kilometer transit system to be built. A system similar to the Valley Line in Edmonton, and why the group is here to learn about the do's and don'ts of constructing such a project.
Those projects have to be integrated in the neighborhood, so it's very complicated. But when we look at what you have done since more than 40 years, you have done a lot. Way much more than other cities in Canada, and way much more than Quebec City.
We learn from every project, and I think there's always some things that we would do differently, but at the same time, I think we had a lot of successes, and we've got a beautiful LRT system that's functioning really, really well.
Quebec City's Mayor Bruno Marchand says it's also about learning to plan further down the line.
Are we able to plan not only about what it is budgeted, but also what is the plan for the future to link those neighborhoods to the city, to make people to commute in a way that it is easier, that it is cheaper.
It's maintaining that vision and understanding that construction is difficult, it impacts people, we know that. It can be very, very impactful, and hopefully by working with your businesses and working with your citizens, they can get it built and get it open.
The delegation is also getting a tour of waste management operations and sitting in on city building project meetings.
Anything that you've passed on to the mayor, maybe some snow clearing tips, for example?
We're good at that. We're good at that, but citizens have high expectations, but we're good at that. And no, we didn't talk about...
He says the only winter weather talk was related to how it impacts infrastructure projects. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Police are investigating a suspicious death in North Edmonton. Police received reports of gunshots near 125th Street and 130th Avenue last night just before 9:30. When officers arrived, they found a dead 26-year-old man in a nearby green space. The Edmonton Police Service Homicide Unit is now investigating, and they're asking anyone with dash cam or doorbell footage from that area to contact them. A new bill being introduced by the Alberta NDP is asking the province to set accessibility standards for people with disabilities. The NDP says Bill 206 would require the government of Alberta to appoint an accessibility standards committee. The majority of the committee would be made up of people with disabilities. It would make recommendations for better accessibility in many areas, including employment, housing, health, and education. NDP leader Naheed Nenshi says it's legislation that's long overdue.
Premier Smith, if you're watching, if you're listening, this is an easy one. This is a gimme. It enables the work you want to do. It doesn't cost very much. It follows best practices in other jurisdictions. And this never works on Premier Smith, but I'll try it. It's the right thing to do.
Minister Jason Nixon is questioning parts of the bill, such as the removal of the provincial disability advocate. He says the bill will be discussed in the legislature next week. Alberta's growing potato industry is hopeful about a new trading partner. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency has reached an agreement with Mexico to ship fresh potatoes there. As CTV's Nicole Weisberg reports, Alberta is the top potato producer in the country, so our farmers could benefit.
This year marks 30 years for the Little Potato Company. The Edmonton-born business has grown exponentially in that time and may soon have another large market to venture into.
This is a really good step in the right direction.
Sanford Gleddy is referring to the newly announced agreement between the Canadian Food Inspection Agency and its Mexican counterpart to ship fresh potatoes to Mexico for the first time. Limited details have been released, but the Little Potato Company is already anticipating the work ahead.
Making the connections within the marketplace, getting the right partners, all the usual things, trying to show how our product might be different or fit a different need in that market compared to what's already available.
This PEI producer was part of the federal delegation that traveled to Mexico last fall to broker a deal.
We are told it is similar to what the U.S. people have, and with the exception that we will be entering by water on the Gulf side as compared to the U.S. potatoes going in by land from the northern border.
Ray Keenan says he expects it'll mainly be russet potatoes, a variety Mexico doesn't grow.
This market's very premature. It's got a ways to go yet to get developed.
Last year, Alberta was the largest potato producer in Canada, followed by Manitoba and Prince Edward Island. Still, with so many unknowns about the agreement, at this point, it is unclear how much Alberta producers will benefit.
We will have a significant cost to get product to the Mexican market.
For us, and I think for our country, the most important trading relationship we have is the United States. And that's not going to change.
Nicole Weisberg, CTV News, Edmonton.
Oilers superstar Leon Draisaitl is expected to miss the rest of the regular season with a lower body injury. Draisaitl was hit into the boards by Nashville Predators forward Ozzy Weisblatt 5 minutes into Sunday night's game. He tried to skate it off but did not return. With 13 games left in the regular season, it's unclear if Draisaitl will be ready for the playoffs if his team makes it. The Edmonton Elks are celebrating a $1 million raise for their Ovarian Cancer Research Endowment Fund. The fund is a partnership between the football club, the Royal Alexandra Hospital Foundation, and Alberta Women's Health Foundation. It was established in 2008 to support ovarian cancer research and women's health initiatives. Originally, an annual dinner was the main fundraiser, and now the team hosts a women's football camp called Game Changers.
It was just amazing watching women at the tackle station and doing the celebration dance after and throwing balls and kicking balls through the uprights and learning more about football.
This year, Game Changers will be held June 27th at Commonwealth Stadium. The City of Edmonton has given historic designation to a building that's known as a local arts hub. The city says Harcourt House in Waquentawin is an example of international style architecture. The aesthetic was popular in the middle of the last century. It's characterized by minimalist design, often using steel, glass, and concrete. The building was designed by the first woman president of the Alberta Association of Architects, Frida O'Connor. Edmonton businessman Robert Earl Harcourt commissioned it in 1965 for his company. He then sold it to the federal government the same year. The building was home to an organization that ran programs for people with disabilities, and then the Community Artists Network moved in 1988. It has been there ever since. Pubs around Edmonton are celebrating St. Patrick's Day. Irish dancers and live music took over O'Byrne's on White Avenue. People lined up out the door at 8:30 this morning for Guinness and green beer. The pub's owner says everyone gets to be Irish for the day.
And that's what, Paddy's Day is really all about. St. Patrick, Guinness, happy times, friends, family, everyone getting together for some beers and some good conversation.
The bar says it could go through 50 kegs of Guinness today, and there are about 99 pints of Guinness in each keg. Coming up next on CTV News, a look at the prices at the pumps and which provinces are seeing the highest increases. Also just ahead, real estate experts expect housing prices to warm up this spring.
Typically in January, February, the homes that are on the market is sort of the stuff that's been hanging around that didn't sell last year.
Good evening, folks. It was a warm one today, 15 degrees for a daytime high here in Edmonton, just shy of the record high of 16. It'll be warm again tomorrow, but wet. Rain through the morning hours. We'll talk more about that in just a few minutes.
An Alberta-based company took center stage at the New York Stock Exchange today. A team from TC Energy rang the opening bell. TC Energy is marking its 75th anniversary as a company and more than 40 years of being listed on the stock exchange. The company employs 6,500 people across the continent. At the gas pumps, the price of gas rose in some provinces today. The cheapest gas in Canada is here in Alberta. Gas Buddy shows some stations in Edmonton selling gas for $1.34 a litre. That's regular, of course. British Columbia has the most expensive fuel at more than $1.85 a litre on average. One economist says oil prices will continue to see volatility as long as the war in Iran continues. The Alberta government is moving forward on a new high school in Sylvan Lake. It's a project whose Central Alberta divisions had been working toward for years.
You're looking at a population of probably 300 students that would be able to go to school from kindergarten all the way to grade 12 in their community, which we think is extra beneficial for any communities.
Money for planning is going to the Red Deer Catholic Regional School Division and Chinook's Edge School Division. The joint project is meant to help with current overcrowding in high schools around the region. The new high school would support around 300 students from Red Deer Catholic schools and nearly 1,000 students from Chinook's division. The Catholic School Division believes this will be a major benefit for students from both communities.
Right now, they are bused and they ride on a bus an hour and a half or just over an hour a day. Now they can actually go to school in Sylvan Lake. But the other thing, when we did the pre-planning, there were focus groups from grades 5 to 12, and they really emphasized wellness, being able to be in their community, get connected to one another. It's easier to gain connections when you're in your own community and you know which high school you're going to, as opposed to not knowing.
No timeline has been set yet for Sylvan Lake's new high school. New data from the Canadian Real Estate Association shows home prices increased across Alberta, but they actually dropped in Edmonton. The report shows the prices of Alberta homes went up on average more than $10,000 in February compared to the same month last year. However, in Edmonton, the price of an average home dropped about $8,000 down to about $412,000. Across Canada, the average home price is also down. As CTV's Rachel Aiello reports, the market should start warming up this spring.
Housing sales last month dipped further than the already slow start in January.
The word right now is patience. What we're seeing is there are buyers. They're just being very particular about what they buy.
According to new data from the Canadian Real Estate Association, in February, sales fell 1.3% month over month. The number of newly listed properties fell 3.9%. And the number of homes that changed hands was 8.1% lower than this time last year. One of the reasons for the sales slowdown were bitter winter storms, keeping buyers cooped up at home.
Typically in January, February, the homes that are on the market is sort of the stuff that's been hanging around that didn't sell last year. So the market really tends to pick up when those new listings, the exciting ones that people want to jump all over, come out.
That usually happens once the snow melts. And so the expectation is for sales to grow and prices to rise once spring sets in.
As soon as we get back-to-back double digits in temperature, that's normally when the buyers start to come out of their hibernation over the winter.
Prices remain cooler in BC, Alberta, and Ontario, while the market in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Quebec, and the East Coast is still hotter.
So our forecast is for that to converge this year.
Uncertainty around interest rates could also impact the market in the months ahead.
If we see that consumer confidence build up a little bit, I think there are some households that are going to say, you know what, this may be the most affordable sort of period of time that we're going to experience in some time.
Real estate agents are also forecasting that pent-up first-time home buyer demand could help heat up this chilly market. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
When we return, camping concerns, why some people in Canmore are against a proposed glamping site.
I'm absolutely against this, as are a lot of people.
Wednesday on Your Morning Edmonton, one man's quest to find the best butter chicken in Edmonton will now unfold on stage. We will learn about the new play from the person in the middle of it all. See you at 6.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Welcome back. Started the day at the freezing mark. Got to 15 for a daytime high. 15.2. Record is 16.1 from 1885. So we took a good run at it through the day today. Temperatures tomorrow will be still way above average. 2 is the average daytime high. We'll get to about 9 or 10 tomorrow and again Thursday. There's the rain, maybe a little bit of rain-snow mix around the Edmonton area and just off to the north through the morning hours. This will impact the morning commute. There's at least wet roads in some spots, especially bridges and overpasses. Could be a little slick and icy in areas. Highway 16 from Edmonton all the way east towards Lloydminster. You've got rain through the morning up until about lunchtime. And then after lunch, should see some sunny breaks here in the Edmonton area. More rain and again, a chance of some freezing rain for this Cold Lake to Slave Lake area. So last night, tonight, again tomorrow night. You get a chance of some wet precipitation and maybe some freezing rain in that zone. -14 Fort McMurray tomorrow morning, about -3 in Grand Prairie. We'll stay a couple of degrees above zero in Edmonton, down to the freezing mark in Red Deer. -2 Fort McMurray, but 3 to 5 degrees above zero for Cold Lake, Lac La Biche, Bonnyville, St. Paul regions. About 4 degrees into Grand Prairie tomorrow. Red Deer, Lloydminster, and Jasper, 11 or 12 degrees above zero. You get a chance of that precipitation through the morning hours in Lloydminster, and in Jasper you might see some showers as well. Here in Edmonton, some rain tomorrow morning, tapering off midday, sunny breaks in the afternoon, about 9 or 10 for a daytime high. Thursday, chances of some scattered showers. Best bet's going to be in the afternoon. We'll get to, again, about 9 or 10. And that'll depend on exactly when that rain rolls in and how steady it is. Spring starts on Friday, and so does a little cool down. 4 degrees Friday, chance of a rain-snow mix Friday night. Maybe a bit of snow on Saturday with a high of 2. And we're back 2 to 5 degrees below zero for daytime highs middle of next week. So really warm today, warm again Wednesday, Thursday. But there is some cooler weather in the long-range forecast. That.
All right, Josh, thank you. A new glamping site could be coming to Canmore. It's a more comfortable alternative to camping for tourists. But residents are pushing back against the idea. CTV's Tyler Barrow explains why.
This area of Canmore could be a 74-unit camping site in the near future. The 3-phase project known as Miners Camp would provide visitors with tents for a glamping experience. And even though it is only in the review stage by the town, residents are panning the idea.
I'm absolutely against this, as are a lot of people.
The site would be located in the Three Sisters area in between the Peaks and Homestead neighborhoods. The 9.7-hectare privately owned land is located within the future development district, which does allow for campground use. Staff would be present 24/7, while the proposal includes one open communal fireplace instead of open fire pits at each site. However, Campbell still worries for wildfire risks.
I have the fire concerns, the safety concerns, the noise concern, the pollution concern.
Other residents have issues too. Wendy Walker says a development of this size will impact wildlife's way of life in the area, while building a 74-unit camping site equates to a lot more congestion.
It's adding another 200 people to this small section of the valley, and it's just wrong.
She also wonders how that volume of people will impact Quarry Lake, a popular local swimming hole. She started a petition which has garnered nearly 2,000 signatures in opposition of the development.
This development just is not compatible. How can you put a campground in the middle of a residential neighborhood?
A sentiment shared by many in the area.
It just changes the reason people move to Peaks and move to homesteads. It's away from town.
The developer, Summit Projects, did acknowledge CTV's request for an interview, but we did not hear back by our deadline. So far, the town has received approximately 400 inquiries regarding Miners Camp. People have until Friday to provide their input on the development. Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Canmore.
And that's our show. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening.